Electricity distribution companies reduce tariff for Band A customers. Nigerians reiterate need to strengthen criminal justice system to reduce demand component of small arms and light weapons. Nigerian youths advocate peace, commend President administration's effort at combating insecurity in Nigeria. Hello and welcome to the News Desk at 3 on NTA NEWS24. We are reaching you live from Abuja. I am Mina Daniels. When young Nigerian females tell compelling stories of resilience and determination through their personal achievements in male-dominated spaces, they are considered inspiring and worthy of celebration. And that exactly is what Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, did when she received and celebrated the country's first female cadet to attend the Royal Military Academy in Sandhurst, England, Second Lieutenant Princess Owowo in her office. State House correspondent Adeni Taiwo reports. Details of that report will be coming in our subsequent bulletins. And of course, reports just reaching us say Edo State House of Assembly Speaker suspends 3 lawmakers on allegations of plotting to impeach him and 3 principal officers of the House Council. Let's now join our correspondent Obehi Otobo Apresai for a situation report. Hello, Apresai. Give us an update of exactly what's happening at the Edo State House of Assembly.
Many thanks for joining us here. I'm standing at the entrance live. I'm standing at the entrance to the Edo State House of Assembly. When we resumed plenary this morning, we were greeted with the news of the pronouncement by the Speaker. Actually, for a few weeks, the Edo State House of Assembly has been on the headlines following the conclusion of the process of impeaching the Deputy Governor. Today, the House of Assembly is making headlines once again when the Speaker, Blessing Agbebaku, immediately announced at the sitting of plenary the suspension of 3 lawmakers. He accused these 3 PDP lawmakers of plotting to impeach him and other principal officers of the 8th Assembly. The 3 lawmakers, the 3 PDP lawmakers, one is a representative of Akoko Edo, the other is a representative of Oriomo South, and then the third one is the representative of Esan Northeast 1. These 3 lawmakers are allegedly said to be loyal to the impeached deputy governor. And so this morning, immediately when the House resumed plenary, the Speaker announced that they have been impeached for inciting disunity in the House and plotting to impeach him and other principal officers of the House. Also, the Speaker alleged fetish practices within the premises of the Edo State House of Assembly by these 3 lawmakers. And so he pronounced their indefinite suspension.
Tell me, Obehe, what's the mood like? I mean, all these unfolding intrigues, what is the implication on Edo people with Edo State, heading for the polls soon?
Well, after the pronouncement, the atmosphere is quite peaceful. People have returned to normal activity. Like you can see behind me, this is the premises, the entrance to the premises of the Edo State House of Assembly. The staff are going about their normal businesses. Everybody have adjusted to the news, although it was a shocker at the beginning, earlier in the afternoon when it happened, you know. But currently, as I speak with you, it's business as usual for Edo people.
Okay, Obey here, Tobo Aprasai. Thank you so much for those updates. Distribution companies have announced a downward review of tariff for Band A feeders to 206 Naira 80 kobo kilowatt per hour as against 225 Naira. The new tariff takes effect from May 6, 2024. Meanwhile, tariff for bands B, C, D, and E remain unchanged. The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission had on April 3, 2024, announced a tariff increase for Band A customers from 68 Naira to 225 Naira kilowatt per hour, with assurance of not less than 20 hours of daily supply. Strengthening the criminal justice system in Nigeria, guests on Good Morning Nigeria believe is a panacea for reducing the demand component of small arms and light weapons. They are also suggesting the fortifications of armories to mitigate vulnerability to criminals. Lydia Sampson reports.
The deployment of soft power, collaboration and technology for tracking and retrieving weapons in the hands of non-state actors, guests on Good Morning Nigeria say, is critical. This, the guests say, will help in documentation and creating a database for weapons in country.
But I believe more of advocacy and more of a synergy within the services. While some are recovering these arms, what is being done to it? Does it return back again to this same illegal market, or what is this? So there are many ways, because last time I was discussing with the center, so much firearms have been recovered. What is the process? Where does it go back to?
And here on the plateau, you have a lot of issues of land grabbing, driving indigenous communities away from their lands and taking them over for other purposes other than farming. And so struggle for power involves even acquiring illicit weapons for the opponents and for their supporters.
Putting the right blocks in place by deepening and sustaining partnership with citizens, civil societies, traditional leaders, and amongst security agencies, they say can fast-track bridging the gap of demand and supply.
Illegal weapon handling by unauthorized persons is a lack of trust. There's a lot of mistrust. First of all, we have a national transformation plan. What is the position of that national transformation plan? Because for North Central, most of the problems that go on there is related to farmers' headers clash over land for grazing, over land for crop farming.
Just to emphasize that there are demand and there are supply elements in the proliferation of small arms and light weapons. And I know that the center is doing a lot. Once the president assents to the bill and it becomes a commission, we're hoping that it would expand. Everything we've mentioned here, the center is doing. Now, another thing that I would recommend strongly to the center is to consider doing a survey.
The guests are also emphatic that stringent monitoring of the land and sea borders must be intensified to mitigate free flow of small arms and light weapons. They urge government, especially subnationals, to be intentional on tackling the nexus between mining and security through escalating and implementation of regulatory policies and deployment of culture of peace and inclusion. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
The present administration's relentless efforts in combating insecurity in the country is being appreciated by the youths as they canvass their involvement in the processes. This is the position of a coalition of civil society organizations under the banner of Non-Aligned Movement Youth Organization at a media briefing in Abuja. The coalition charged Nigerian youths and stakeholders to get involved in proffering solutions to the problems of insecurity in the country.
It's an opportunity for this government to reach out to these young people to start talking about the ways and means where young people can come in and help the government to fight insecurity.
The coalition emphasized that the ideas, innovations and inputs of young people remain indispensable. Yaba State government has taken steps to address the intricacy associated with land ownership and control as Governor Mai Mala Buni launches digital process in land administration and management to halt activities of land grabbers and racketeers in the state. Governor Buni, during the launching of the digital platform at the headquarters of the State Geographic Information Service, says the move is in tune with changing times. Yunusa Suleiman reports.
Yaba State Geographic Information Service, YOGIS, was established in November 2020 by Executive Order 1, a deliberate move to ensure effective land administration and management in the state. To achieve this, Governor Buni was at the headquarters of the agency, where he launched a digital platform that will enable yogis to use cutting-edge technology in carrying out land transactions and other related matters. This is with a view to sanitizing the sector, ensure transparency, and improve the revenue base of the state through titling, leasing, mortgages, mapping, as well as ground rent, among others.
It is gratifying to note that with yogis in place, our policy of transforming land administration and management in the state will continue to be in tune with the changing times and providing effective and efficient services. To reduce the menace of land grabbing, racketeering, and scam, I hereby direct that all land vendors must be registered for proper records and security before they are allowed to operate.
The revenue we have generated so far from processing only from April 2021 to date is amounting to 179 million naira just from processing.
An approval was granted by the state government for the production of a 25-year Damatru master plan, and this, the governor says, will be extended to Potoskum, Guru, Gashua, Gaidam, and Bunyadi towns in due course. In Damatru, Yunusa Suleiman, NTA News.
Governor Babagana Omar Zulu government has also paid 1 billion naira compensation to citizens affected by the reconstitution of the Phase 1 Ring Road. Borno State government says the project is aimed at easing the transportation hardship, decongesting the metropolis already populated by the influx of IDPs, and create more avenue for building more houses to accommodate the people. 32 houses, among other valuables, were destroyed as a result of windstorm in Pela community on local government area of Adamawa State. Correspondent Simon Asha reports that the affected people are calling for support to cushion the effects of the disaster.
Storm in Pela is said to have affected the livelihood of people in the community because of its impact. About 32 households were affected, including residential houses, worship places, among other valuables. The affected people are therefore calling for support from government, non-governmental organizations, and spirited individuals to cushion the effect of the disaster.
I'm calling on the government to intervene so that nobody will be left behind.
Various organizations have started supporting the community with roofing sheet, woods, mattress, and cash donations to ameliorate their condition.
It is just part of our principles, part of our mandate to ensure that we respond aptly to whatsoever befalls humanity, such as this heavy windstorm.
In Yola, Simon Asher, NTA News.
This is a news desk at 3 on NTA NEWS24. Let's take a breather now. More reports when we return. Welcome back. The current security situation in Nigeria has continued to raise concerns for immediate solutions, while the situation is begging for concerted efforts and support of all Nigerians. Many are demanding for its adoption and sustenance as the panacea for the myriad of security issues bedeviling the country.
The security apparatus of any nation determines the pace and strength of development economically and politically. Nigeria and her citizenry have for some time now come under perceived siege of terrorism, with insurgents masquerading as bandits. This has generated a lot of concerns, leading to debates on possible way out, with community and state policing structure as viable alternatives.
Technological factors, human factors, and the processes. If we don't have those three things in place to ensure that the security agent and the police officers that are going to be employed to carry out these state policing duties are not effectively managed, let's forget about state policing.
Look at the country. We are 200 million people. It's a vast land. And how many people are in the police? You overstretch them. But if we have the state police, we have more people coming, we'll be able to remove some of those things from the center and spread it.
In Lagos State, for instance, there is an established community security structure to curb crime at the grassroots level. And this has, to a large extent, ensured the protection of lives and property.
Amotekun is there. All kinds, they are in different states. So whether you call it state policing or whatever name you give it, it shouldn't be seen as being competitive with the Nigerian police. Instead, it should be seen as being cooperative.
While a school of thoughts believe Nigeria is not ripe for such structure, others consider the idea as a potential milestone in the evolution of a nation's law enforcement framework that would create the opportunity to closely address the various demands of communities across the country.
The federal government is said to embrace digital transformation to unlock the future driven by innovation to facilitate the diversification of the economy. This was disclosed at the 20th Herbert Macaulay Memorial Lecture held at the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. Eukaria Ogu reports that the lecture had as its theme harnessing practical engineering solutions for sustainable economic development. The report is hereby presented.
In a lecture titled Championing Innovation, a look at digital transformation and economic diversification in Nigeria, the guest lecturer enumerated right policies, internet connectivity, and public-private partnership, as well as funding research, as practical steps that will enable digital economy thrive in Nigeria.
We need to be more intentional in pulling the private sector along. We want to drive that economic growth to digital transformation.
The Director General, Nigerian Hydrological Services Agency, while delivering a paper on practical implications of hydrological data, applications in agriculture and environment, emphasized the need for government to be dependent on scientific procedures and hydrological data to design and manage infrastructure to improve its preparedness to tackle disastrous exigencies.
Whether you are building your airports, highways, your drainages, your bridges, you need the hydrological data. So hydrological data has application in several aspects of our national life.
Organizers of the lecture series say it is a platform to mobilize resources to improve the teaching, learning, and research environment.
Sustainability is the current change goal for every developmental solution.
Let us look more inwards and see what we as engineers can do to provide sustainable solutions for the Nigerian economic development.
The lecture series is a biennial event of the Faculty of Engineering, University of Nigeria, Nsukka, held in honor of Herbert Macaulay, the father of Nigeria's nationalism. It witnessed the homecoming of the 1985 set of the engineering faculty, who officially handed over a two-story lecture building as their corporate social responsibility to their alma mater. In Enugu, Chinenye Nwoye, NTA News.
The National Examination Council, NACO, says it has digitalized its recruitment process for examination supervisors and assistant supervisors for the Basic Education Certificate Examination, BCE, and the Senior School Certificate Examination, SSCE, internal and external. A statement by NACO's Acting Director, Information and Digital Communication, Aziz Sani, says the digitalization is to check sharp practices in the recruitment process and to enhance efficiency and effective service delivery. The digitization process, which involves migration from the manual recruitment of supervisors and assistant supervisors to online system, would ensure that supervisors' nomination forms, appointment letters, and supervisors' e-photo albums are generated online. Also, routine swapping of supervisors and assistant supervisors during the examination will be done online. Interested qualified teachers with NCE, degree certificates, master degrees, PhD, and professors are eligible to apply as supervisors and assistant supervisors for BCE or SSCE, internal or external. Let's take a little bit of sports stories.
Nigeria's men's 4x4 relay team have qualified for Paris 2024 Olympics after placing second in Heat 2 at the World Athletics Relays in Bahamas. Competing in Heat 2, the quartet of Chidi Okezie, Dubem Nwachukwu, Dubem Amene and Sikiru Adeyemi finished second in a time of 3 minutes 1 second. The result means the team picked one of the 2 automatic spots for the Olympics.
Away and clear. Alexander Doom will take them to the Olympic Games, and a brilliant final leg for Nigeria from Chidi Okezie. Overhauls Jamaica in the last 50 or 60 metres.